to Intermediate Level English Language Arts.
First, okay, recognizing singular and plural nouns. Okay, so when you say singular, okay, a singular noun or singular form of noun would be when something is just one, single, one. Okay, but when it's more than one, you call it plural. Okay, so the form of a noun when it's plural, when it's a lot, it's plural. When it's just one, it's singular. Now, how do you find singular nouns? How do you create singular nouns? Okay, so one way is to either put the numeral one or use an article before them. We just discussed what an article is, right? So an article is a or an or a or an, okay? Example, an egg, an onion, a bottle, a melon, an apple, okay? Or just put there one driver, one sales clerk, one janitor, one storekeeper, 1 hour. That's how you create just singular nouns. How about plural? Now, plural nouns, there are many ways to do it, okay? You can either just put a numeral greater than 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, okay? And then you add s or es to the nouns. Example, 10 eggs, 2 onions, 6 bottles, 10 melons, 5 drivers, 8 sales clerks, 7 janitors, 3 storekeepers. These are all plural already. Okay. Now, to give you a specific rules for forming nouns, right? I did mention here that it says there most plurals of nouns end in s. Okay? So, how do you know if it has to end in s or es? Because in certain rules, you have to add es to a noun to make it plural. That's what we're going to be discussing next. Okay, rules in forming plural form of nouns. Okay, so if a noun ends in s, z, x, double s, ch, or sh, okay, add es. Example, box ends in x. So that means the plural of box is boxes. Class is double s. So plural of class is classes. Quiz. Now, be careful with the words that end in z, okay? If they end in z, and it's just one z, make sure that you double the z first before adding es. Example, quiz. Quiz is Q-U-I-Z, just one z. Now, make sure that if before you add the es, double the z first, okay? Quizzes, dishes, buses, and even fez. What's a fez? Fez is that it's a small hat, basically. If you guys are familiar with the animated series of Aladdin, okay, on Disney, okay, the monkey, Abu, that's what he's wearing, a fez. That red thing, the red hat, that's a fez. All right. So those are different ways on adding or making a plural noun with those that end in s, z, x, double s, ch, or sh. Add es. Next, if it ends in a y, but it's preceded by a vowel or it comes after a vowel. So that means it has a vowel first and then y. Okay, example, day. Day is D-A-Y. Before y is a vowel, A. What is the rule? The rule is just add S. All right? Add S. So day becomes days. Toy becomes toys. Trolley, right? Before Y is an E. That's a vowel. Trolleys. Way, ways. Okay? That's rules 1 and 2. Next rules. 3. If a singular noun ends in a consonant and Y. So that means if it ends in Y, but before a Y, it's a consonant. The rule is you have to change the Y first to I and then add ES. Example, the word is variety. Okay, the first example over there, variety. Variety is V-A-R-I-E-T-Y. Before Y is a consonant, it's T. Okay, so the letter T there before the Y, it's a consonant. So the rule is to change Y to I and then add ES. It's not, now this is a common mistake. People usually make this mistake. They usually say that you change Y to IES. Okay, the rule is not like that. The rule is change Y to I first and then add ES. All right? So example, ferry, ferries, story, stories, party, parties. These are all examples of nouns that end in Y before a consonant. All right? 4. Some singular nouns ending in F. Okay, so certain nouns that end in F, okay, for example, chef, dwarf, handkerchief, or staff, right? The rule is just add S. So chef becomes chefs, dwarf becomes dwarfs, handkerchief becomes handkerchiefs, staff becomes staffs, right? But rule number five. Rule number five is some singular nouns that ends in F or FE. You have to change the F or FE to V first and then add ES. Example, knife. Okay. The plural of knife is not knives. No, it's not. It's knives. K-N-I-F, K-N-I-V-E-S. All right? Change the F-E to V and then add E-S. Same as with life. Plural of life is lives. Plural of shelf is shelves. And plural of thief is thieves. All right? 6. Many nouns that end in O, a lot of them that end in O, just add S. Studio, studios, centavo, centavos, radio, radios, Filipino, Filipinos. Okay? Sometimes, some nouns that end in O, you could either add S or ES. Example, the word flamingo. Flamingo in plural is flamingos, which is either just an S or an ES. Mango is mingos, which is either S or ES. Volcano, volcanoes. Tornado, tornadoes. Okay? Now, these are some nouns, not all, but some nouns that end in O. They could either be just with an S or with ES. Now, rule number 8. Rule number 8 is that some nouns ending in O, you have to add ES only. So the first one is we just add S. The second one is either add S or ES. And the third one, add ES. So for example, potato, potatoes. That's P-O-T-A-T-O-E-S. Tomato, tomatoes. Hero, heroes. Echo, echoes. These are some examples of nouns that end in O that when you make them plural, you have to add ES. All right? So you might ask, Sir Vince, how do we know which nouns that end in O would have either the S or the ES when you're going to make them plural? That's a very good question, okay? There are certain rules for that, but if I'm going to discuss all of the rules, that would take a lot of time, okay? And usually the rules are quite a lot, especially with those that end in O. So for everyone here who might be asking that question, okay, one thing I can tell you guys is that one way for you to find out which are the ones that ends in O, that you either add S or ES, you have to really immerse yourself in the English language. When I say immerse, that means I want you guys to continue getting or consuming things with the English language. Like for example, books. Okay, read books that are English. Read or watch English movies or English shows. Play English games, right? You have to really sink in all of these things, take all of these things in for you to identify which ones would follow this rule and which ones would follow the other rule. All right? Okay, next. 9. 9. Several nouns form their plurals by changing one or more vowel letters in their singular form. Man becomes men. Louse becomes lice. Woman becomes women. Tooth becomes teeth. Mouse becomes mice. Food becomes feet. Okay, you might be asking about mouse. Mouse is the one, the mouse over there. That's a mouse for the animal. But when you're talking about mouse, like the computer mouse, okay, the computer mouse, right? When you're talking about that, the plural of mouse, the computer hardware, the computer thing is the part of the computer. The plural of this is mouses. Mouses. Okay, just add S. But when you're talking about the animal, mouse, it becomes mice. Okay, that's rule number 9. Rule number 10, some words have entirely different plural forms, so you change the spelling. That's the rule. Okay, child, example, child becomes children. Ox becomes oxen. And these are the different rules in making nouns plural. All right. Now,